Tonight, we take you to the edge of America, Alaska. This vast, untamed land is often seen as a distant frontier, but tonight it's at the center of a national conversation. Alaska is a place of rugged beauty, where snow-capped peaks meet endless forests and icy waters. But beyond its breathtaking scenery, Alaska holds immense strategic importance for the United States, serving as a critical gateway between continents and a vital hub for both military and civilian operations. Earlier this week, that sense of remoteness vanished in an instant as chaos erupted at the state's largest airport, thrusting Alaska into the national spotlight. A sudden and serious security threat forced a total lockdown, grounding every flight and stranding thousands of travelers. The usually bustling terminals fell eerily silent as uncertainty gripped the airport. This wasn't just a local scare, it was a wake-up call for the entire nation. The ripple effects were felt far beyond Alaska, as airports across the country heightened their security measures in response. The silence at Anchorage's runways echoed across America, raising urgent questions about our preparedness and the vulnerabilities in our security systems. For hours, one of the most vital logistical centers in the U.S. was paralyzed. Anchorage is a key link in global cargo and passenger travel, and its sudden standstill sent shockwaves through supply chains and travel plans nationwide. Cell phone videos captured the tense atmosphere, armed officers sweeping silent terminals, travelers huddled together, posting anxious updates from grounded planes, and families desperately seeking information. The initial reports were fragmented and confusing, but one thing was clear: something serious was unfolding, and the world was watching Alaska. The lockdown in Alaska became a real-time test of our nation's security infrastructure, challenging protocols and response times at every level. In the coming moments, we'll break down what happened, step by step, tracing the timeline from the first alert to the eventual all-clear. We'll hear directly from officials at the center of the response, as they recount the decisions and actions taken during those critical hours. And we'll share the voices of those who lived through those tense hours: stranded travelers, anxious families, and airport staff who worked tirelessly to keep everyone safe. Finally, we'll examine what this event means for the future of travel and national security, exploring how incidents like this shape the policies and technologies designed to protect us. This story goes far beyond Alaska's snow-covered landscapes. It touches the core of our safety when we travel, reminding us that even the most remote frontiers are connected to the heart of our nation's security. To grasp the gravity of the incident, you need to understand Ted Stevens Anchorage International Airport. It's not just a regional hub, it's a global crossroads for cargo and a lifeline for Alaska's residents. Its location makes it one of the busiest cargo airports in the world, connecting North America, Asia, and Europe. The airport is also a critical military asset, with Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson next door. For many Alaskans, it's the only link to medical care, supplies, and the outside world. When the airport shuts down, the entire state feels it instantly. Security here is always a top priority, but this week's events tested that system like never before. The incident revealed both strengths and vulnerabilities in protecting such a vital hub. The crisis began on Monday morning, December 1st, 2025. At 9:45 a.m., airport authorities received a specific, credible threat, reportedly electronic and targeting infrastructure. Within minutes, emergency protocols kicked in. By 10:10, the airport was in full lockdown. Incoming flights were diverted, and planes on the ground were held in place. Inside, TSA and police secured terminals, instructing everyone to shelter in place. The airport's official statement confirmed the lockdown and urged the public to stay away. The FBI took the lead, with federal, state, and local law enforcement converging on the scene. For hours, K-9 units and bomb squads swept every corner, treating every report as a potential danger. Their primary goal: ensure no device or assailant was present. The world watched as Anchorage's airport became a fortress. The hours ticked by, with the nation waiting for answers. Inside the terminals, thousands of passengers were caught in limbo, their travel plans suddenly suspended. The usual hum of excitement was replaced by confusion and worry as people tried to make sense of the unfolding situation. Some waited anxiously at their gates, glued to their phones for updates, while others remained stuck on planes, unable to disembark. All were desperate for any scrap of information. hoping for clarity amid the chaos. Flight crews did their best to keep people calm, offering reassurances and updates. But the sight of heavily armed SWAT teams moving across the tarmac only heightened the sense of unease and fear among passengers. Families huddled together for comfort. Business travelers frantically tried to reschedule meetings, and food supplies at airport vendors quickly ran out, leaving many hungry and frustrated. Airport staff worked tirelessly to direct people to secure areas, making repeated announcements, but uncertainty and confusion reigned throughout the terminals. Law enforcement's top priority was a systematic, thorough search. Every terminal, cargo area, and office was combed for threats, with no corner left unchecked. Teams with explosive detecting dogs moved methodically through the airport, their search slow and deliberate. This painstaking process stretched on for hours, consuming most of the day. Finally, at 3:30 p.m., after hours of tension, officials declared the airport clear. No immediate physical danger had been found. Relief swept through the crowd, but exhaustion lingered. The lockdown was lifted in carefully managed phases, and airport operations slowly began to resume. Passengers were allowed to move freely once more, but the ordeal was far from over. The crisis had created a massive backlog, hundreds of flights delayed or canceled, and thousands of stranded passengers still waiting for answers and assistance. The logistical nightmare would take days to resolve, with lost luggage, missed connections, and exhausted travelers camped out in terminals overnight. The event left a lasting mark on everyone involved, from passengers to staff, shaping their memories of travel and security forever. The airport's vulnerability had been exposed, prompting urgent questions about safety and preparedness for the future. The lockdown's impact was felt most by those trapped inside. Families were separated, elderly travelers struggled, and uncertainty took a heavy toll. Many missed connections, lost money on hotels and tours, and faced unexpected expenses. For some, a dream trip turned into a nightmare. Airport employees were also locked down, unable to contact loved ones. Local businesses lost income, and hotels were overwhelmed with stranded travelers. Across Alaska, remote communities faced delays in mail, groceries, and medical supplies. Medevac flights were postponed, putting lives at risk. The airport is more than a convenience here. It's a lifeline. The ripple effects of the shutdown reached far beyond Anchorage. The shutdown of Anchorage's airport sent shockwaves through the global supply chain. Cargo planes were diverted or grounded, creating bottlenecks between Asia and North America. Companies faced costly delays, and the economic impact was felt in millions of dollars. Lawmakers called for investigations and a review of airport security nationwide. The incident became a real-world stress test for critical infrastructure. The Port of Alaska and the state's tourism industry also suffered. Defense analysts warned that targeting a single hub like Anchorage could disrupt both the economy and military readiness. The message, "No location is too remote to be a strategic target." National security experts are sounding the alarm, saying the Anchorage lockdown is more than just an isolated incident. It's a red flag for the entire country. This event has forced many to reconsider just how vulnerable our critical infrastructure really is. Juliette Kayyem, former DHS Assistant Secretary, calls it a clear demonstration of vulnerability, emphasizing that even a single event can expose weaknesses in our security systems that adversaries may seek to exploit. Whether the threat was real or a hoax, the disruption was massive, and that's exactly what adversaries want to see. The chaos and confusion caused by shutting down a major airport can ripple far beyond the city itself. Logistical hubs like Anchorage are just as attractive to attackers as major passenger airports because they serve as lifelines for commerce, supply chains, and emergency response. You don't need mass casualties to inflict chaos. Paralyzing a keynote in the transportation network can rattle financial markets, disrupt businesses, and sow widespread fear among the public. The electronic nature of the threat highlights the growing challenge of cyber and information-based attacks, which can be launched from anywhere in the world and are increasingly difficult to detect and prevent. Law enforcement must take every credible threat seriously, but that also opens the door to manipulation by those who want to test our response or simply create panic. The path forward is clear. We need better intelligence sharing, stronger cybersecurity defenses, and a focus on building resilience so that we can recover quickly from any disruption, no matter the cause. The Anchorage incident exposed critical vulnerabilities and offers a valuable roadmap for the improvements that are urgently needed to protect our nation's infrastructure. It's a costly lesson, both financially and in terms of public trust, but it's one the nation simply can't afford to ignore if we want to stay ahead of future threats. The next threat could be even more disruptive, and the time to act is now, before another wake-up call arrives. In the aftermath, officials worked to reassure the public and manage the investigation. The FBI confirmed the threat was specific, but details remain classified. The response was coordinated and cautious, prioritizing safety above all. Airport staff and crews worked tirelessly to clear the backlog and help stranded passengers. Communication gaps were acknowledged. Real-time updates to travelers must improve. The financial toll is still being calculated, with calls for federal assistance. Officials promise a comprehensive review to identify what worked and what must change. The public wants more than promises. They want action and accountability. The lockdown is over, but the lessons must not fade. Alaska's crisis showed how a single threat can paralyze a vital artery of our economy and security. In an interconnected world, vigilance is everyone's responsibility. Travelers must be prepared, pay attention, follow instructions, and keep essentials handy. For leaders, the Anchorage incident is a call to strengthen intelligence, cybersecurity, and resilience. We must protect all critical infrastructure, not just the obvious targets. The story from Alaska is one of resilience, of law enforcement, airport staff, and a community coming together. Our greatest strength is our ability to respond, recover, and learn. The silent runways in Anchorage were a warning. It's up to all of us to heed it.